In today's episode on Pacific Pines Ranch, watch how we convert these original shipping container doors into 8-foot glass doors. A few years ago, we decided to quit the rat race and venture down a completely unfamiliar path in life. We sold almost all of our possessions, renovated a camper van, and toured the US looking for a piece of land to start our journey. After almost 2 years, we found our piece of paradise in the Pacific Northwest, and Pacific Pines Ranch was born. Follow along as we chase our dreams to build an off-grid shipping container home and to see our projects and adventures along the way. As we like to say on the ranch, the joy is in the journey. When we designed our house, we wanted as many doors and windows as possible, which is why we designed one side of our house to be 8-foot glass doors. Basically, we can open the entire side of the house, which I think is pretty cool. We live in a very mild climate. It never gets too hot or too cold, which enabled us to do these door conversions without having to worry about extreme heat or cold issues. We haven't experienced any condensation issues. We decided to convert the original shipping container doors into glass doors. There's 10 doors total, 2 per container, and the last level we haven't narrowed down what we want to do yet, so to be determined. The size of the glass panels was around 36 inches by 88 inches, and the panels are about an inch thick. You can get the glass ordered to whatever size that you want if you want it smaller. I don't think you can really go any larger because they fit perfectly into the door, but you can definitely go smaller. Also, you can order these glass panels at any local door or window store. To purchase this style of door with the same materials would be somewhere around $20K minimum. So doing these conversions saved us a lot of dollars. We are living the hardcore DIY life out here on the ranch, and we prefer to do these crazy design details ourselves to ensure maximum quality and to learn new skills and save some money to fund our other crazy projects. Stick around until the end of the video where I list the cost breakdown of the door conversion. Also, check out the first glass panel conversion here and the link in the description. Got the first 2 sets of hardware off of the door. Next, we will get the next set off and mark the doors where we have to cut out the panels to insert the glass panels, little by little. So we have been working, sorry for the banging in the back. This is what you get when you film a construction site. So we've been working on installing the glass panels. Well, we don't have the glass panels yet, but we've been working on preparing the doors to be transformed into glass doors on the 3rd container. This one over there. So the few things that we have to do before we can move forward is we have to remove the original hardware of the door, which you can see all the things that I'm going to show you right now that we've done. So these are what we are removing, these guys right here. And what's weird about it is, see, this one was alright, but that door was all nuts and bolts. This one is half nuts and bolts and half rivets. The rivets are kind of annoying to remove. So tried a couple different ways. We used the plasma cutter, we used the angle grinder. The angle grinder is a little bit better, less messy, because the plasma cutter can get a lot of splatter everywhere. Yeah, the plasma cutter does pretty nasty. So this is all of the nuts and bolts and all of the stuff that we've removed on the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors. Yeah, so we have a lot of nuts and bolts and broken rivets. You can see right here, if I can grab it. Here is one of the rivets that we have to cut. Yep, maybe use those on a future project. I don't know, we'll see, time will only tell. So right now, what Viant is doing is he is going up the handles and removing the last of the rivets, and then we will remove the hardware of the door, like we have here, and the rest from the other container over here. And then we can move forward with marking where to cut the panels out, taking the seals off, removing the gasket retention strip, cleaning up the door, doors, sanding, processing, all that good stuff. So gonna get going with the grinder and yeah, see how far we can get before the sun goes down, which is sort of soon. So we'll see. So we got the first door panel cut out for the glass doors. There it is right there. Everything went well, except when the panel was falling out, it bumped the ladder. That bumped what I was holding it to. That totally hit my hand and my foot, but...
Careful, babe.
So now Viant, he will work on finishing the last parts cut out on that one, and we will try to get that one out without hurting ourselves. Oh, so dusty. All right, second panel out and no injuries this time, so it's good. Looking good. So now what Viant is gonna do is grind down this so that it's flush, just this part. This part will stay out because that's what the window will go against. And yeah, and this will go with our panel graveyard over there. Good job, babe.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
So now I'm gonna go up in it and show you the view from the inside. Woo, yeah, looking good. I mean, this isn't where the container will be. It's the temporary view, I guess, because the view will be from up there. Still nice. Can't really see in the video, I don't think, but the ocean is just there beyond those trees. So a view from the other side, this is the spot that Viant will be cutting here and grinding all this curve down. And after we'll probably clean the container because there's like little pieces of metal everywhere like that. What can you do? All right, onward we go. Alright, so we got all of the rivets out and we got the retention strips off and the gaskets off, and we are ready to start processing the doors to prepare them for when we get the glass panels, to install the glass panels. So I'll take you around, pretty loud, so sorry, but I'll take you around to where we're working on them and show you what we're doing now. So for now, we are grinding down the rust, removing the rust, sanding, painting. I have a few repairs that I have to do because there's some holes where the rust went through, which is no big deal. Just take a piece of the panels that we have, cut out a slice, splice it in there, weld it in, and it's all good for that. So let's go around, I'll show you what's up, and yeah. Okay, so what Viant is doing is removing the rust. I will weld these holes, so he's just removing the little bit of paint and whatever else is around there so that I can weld them shut. We have some repairs that we have to do, like right there, if you see, I don't know if you can see, but right here there is a little hole. There's a few other places where I have to do some repairs. Yeah, here is pretty bad. Gotta take a little piece and splice it in there to replace it, but that's okay. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. Viant, he's already grinding. So I'm gonna put my gear on and get to work. Here we go. Did some plastic surgery to the container. Welded a little couple pieces back in there. A little bit on the bottom over here. So everything is going well. So now tomorrow we will work on grinding down all of the places that have rust and remove the stickers, all of the leftover of the silicone from the gasket, and just anything else that we need to do to prepare them to paint. So see you tomorrow. Another beautiful day out here on Pacific Pines Ranch. As you can see, I have all my gear on today. Every day I have my gear on, but specifically I have my gear on today because we are going to go ahead and grind down any rust that's on the container doors and get it ready to get the first layer of paint on. So we're just gonna remove any stickers, any silicone, remove the rust, sand it all down, and yeah, get the first coat of paint on. So here we go. Alright, so we finished grinding down all the rust and doing a little maintenance on the doors. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit them with the orbiting sander, go through a couple different grits to get it smooth and prepared for paint. And after that we'll start to paint. Grinding. Alright, so as you can see, we got the first layer of paint up on the doors. It was a really crazy night. I didn't have time or the energy to film because it was pretty intense. 2 paint guns that we had broke in the middle of us painting with the epoxy, which, you know, cures with time. So yeah, it was really stressful. Finally, we got it finished. We had to bring out the lights and work late, and I think we were finally done around midnight. So it was an intense day, to say the least. So, but anyways, we got the first layer of paint on, so that's all that matters. It's looking good. So we'll come back another time, probably in the next few days, to complete the final layer of paint and move on from there. Another nice day here out on Pacific Pines Ranch. And today is our anniversary. Yay! What better way to spend our anniversary than going to buy construction equipment? So today we're going to pick up the glass panels for the container doors. So here we have built our little ghetto frame to hold the panels, but we did it before, so it worked fine.
Pretty nice to me.
So yeah, we are heading out there, pick up the panels, stop and get a few other construction equipment. Yeah, just a bunch of random stuff that we need. So yeah, here we go. So we got the glass panels, and like every time that we get glass panels, it's raining when we're unloading them. So now we are just basically going to play in the rain unloading these panels. So that's life.
Rules. Oregon.
So we got the glass panels out. We'll load those into storage a little later. Because right now, we need to undo this frame. Oh my god, sorry, I'm out of breath. Those are pretty heavy. We have to undo this frame so we can return the trailer. So, gonna undo that, put all the wood back, put the ratchet straps away, all that, and return the trailer, and then come back and I don't know what we'll work on today, but we'll see. Another day out here on Pacific Pines Ranch. Alrighty, so this is what we are doing. Latches that the original container doors, the locking system is this bolt latch that goes down into this stainless steel tubing that I welded to the container. So this is how we're setting up this tiny little piece down here. So what I'm doing, bought these little bolts to fill the space. It's very hard to handle tiny stuff with welding gloves. So what we're doing is using these to fill the space and so that we have something to kind of hold on to when we place them, especially from the bottom, because the bottom is totally accessible from the outside and the top is a tube. So the top, it doesn't really matter, but for the bottom, they really help to get them in the good spot and hold them in place while my aunt holds them in place while I tack it together to create where the bolt latch slides into. So after, what that looks like, they're not cleaned yet or anything, but after they will look much nicer, but ooh, they're still really hot. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, after, similar to that. They still got the flux on them, but we haven't cleaned them like I said. But easiest way that we found to do it. Okay, so we finished welding all the little pieces of the stainless steel tubing for the slide bolt, and now we are working on piecing together what will become the handle for all of the doors that we modified. So this will be the length, I think it's 4 feet. These little pieces will be welded on to, I'm not sure yet where we are going to put them, but they will come out perpendicularly from the tube, and against the small pieces will be, it'll look like this. So this piece will go like here, and then that will form the base. We will bolt this flat bar onto the door over there. So Vion's cutting all the flat bar right now, and we will put it together little by little.
Wow, looking good.
It's awesome. So we just finished the first prototype of the stainless steel handles that will go on the original container doors that we customized to be glass doors. So it's looking pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. Big shout out to our friend Dave, who suggested that we use the tube at an angle rather than flat. It's a great idea, and we're really happy with how it came out. So thanks, Dave. So let's go put it by the door. When all is said and done, that will look like that. Hell yeah!
Yay! Let me open the door for you.
Looking good. Are you proud of your work?
Look amazing.
Your precise 45-degree cuts?
Yep. Always the grinder.
Yeah.
Shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello everybody! So today, as you can hear, we're already on the grind, getting ready to install the door gaskets. So let me go over here because it's too loud. So So we ordered new door gaskets because the container is like, I think 17 years old or something like that. And the door gaskets are really just old. So we ordered new door gaskets and we've been refurbishing the retention strips because, like, as you can see, these are some from the other container, but they can be a little bit damaged, like this one right here. If you see, it's a little bit bent. So you need to kind of straighten it out and kind of clean the rust off of it and stuff. So these aren't the ones that we refurbished, they're in another spot, but they are the same. So we will be installing that, and we have the new gaskets that we'll be putting on the door, and we bought a pneumatic rivet gun to save Viant's hands from having to do like 300 stainless steel rivets by hand, because that would suck, and I can barely do it. So Viant's getting the door gaskets, and we're gonna do our first attempt,
Yep.
which can be scary sometimes. So here we go. Like everything on Pacific Pines Ranch, you guys are following us on our journey of firsts. It's always for the most part, our first time doing everything. Like I explained in one of our first videos, like me especially, I had zero construction experience, zero building experience, zero mechanic experience. No, I had a little bit of mechanic experience before this, but yeah, very, very, very beginner status. So for all of you experienced construction workers out there, don't laugh too hard at our methods. We're still trying to figure it out. So the way that we came up to install the doors is with this. So what we did,
Let's explain.
Yeah, let's explain. So we have a bunch of little holes in here where the retention strip, so this guy has got to go on the outside of this gasket, and we have to rivet into these holes to attach it. But as you can see, we don't know where the holes are on this side. So what we're doing is we're using this to puncture through to the hole to know where the hole is, and then we just drill a little hole through the gasket so we can put this guy here and rivet it in with our new super luxury quality Harbor Freight rivet gun. New hydraulic 1/4 inch air hydraulic riveter. Yeah, we tested it. It works. They're stainless rivets, so it's like really hard to do them by hand. So I try to save my babe.
Thank you so much.
He already worked so hard with the silicone for the glass doors. So anyways, here we go. Continue with our little, I don't even know what this is called.
I don't know.
Yeah. We actually got it to mix epoxy. We never mixed epoxy with it, but help us. So here we go. So moving along little by little, the only issue that we're having is the air rivet gun. Sometimes it doesn't cut the little tail off of these guys, and sometimes it does, and we can't figure out why. So there's just a few that didn't come off. That's about the only issue that we're having. Viant is perforating holes into the gasket, and then we're gonna drill and place the retention strip and rivet on. Alrighty, so we got the first door seal on. Here it is. Can't really tell because their door and the seal are both black, but yeah, looking good. But it's getting late and it's getting dark, so we are going to call it a day and put everything away and try to figure out a way to remove these the backs of these rivets and figure out if we're gonna put silicone around the seal where the seal meets the door right here. I don't know if we're gonna do that or not. So lots of things to research. It's pretty much how our days go. It's a long days full of manual labor, and then at night it's research hour. Scour the internet for information. All right. right, another nice autumn day on Pacific Pines Ranch, and today we are installing the glass panels for the custom container doors on the second level. So we already have them in on the first level. These are the glass panels right here. So we cleaned them and got them all ready to be installed. So now we're just gonna apply the double-sided tape on the little lip that we have on the door, and then Viant is gonna come with the suction cups right here. Place the door inside, and then I'm gonna go along the outside and remove the back side of the tape, and then we're gonna press it in, apply the silicone, and then put a little bit of weight against it just in case it's extra windy tonight, or just as an insurance policy. Another side note, we are installing them now before we drop them on, before we drop this container onto the foundation, because after the first level, everything is going to start to be really high, and we don't really feel like I don't feel to be on a 30-foot ladder. Just much easier if we're somewhere around ground level, and our land is really sloped. So on the other side of our house, the slope is pretty intense. So yeah, just way easier if we do it now where we are than if we did it after. So we're just gonna get that out of the way so it makes it a little bit easier for us, and yeah, keep moving on. Okie dokie, so we got the first glass panel in. Here it is, right here. This is just to hold it in place while we go around and seal the edges. It's a marine sealant. I always make the joke like we're basically building a land boat, and yeah, we kind of are. It rains so much here, we just use so much stuff that's marine grade just because we know that if it's good for the ocean, it'll be good for our application, because we are basically on the ocean with the amount of rain and salt water that is in the air. So we're gonna go ahead and seal the edges of the glass panel on both the outside and the inside, and then we will move on to installing the second glass panel. So far, so good. Second panel in, yay! Now we're gonna go tape this side, put some sealant in there. So the sealant that we're using is this Chemlink M1 marine grade for our land boat house. So we're gonna put this bad boy to use, seal the windows in place, and voila, just a few more steps until this one goes over there on the foundation. Second level commencement coming soon. And we are done for today. They look so nice. This is the finished look. Beautiful. So we are just gonna let them set for the night. Tomorrow we are going to finish doing the sealant because we ran out, and of course the store to buy it is closed. So I'm gonna go first thing in the morning, get a few more tubes of the M1 sealant, and finish everything. We're really happy with how they look. It's one of my favorite parts of the house. I think it's a tie between the glass doors and the rooftop. So overall, it was a good day, successful day, and tomorrow will be another day, hopefully a successful day. So until then. Beautiful morning out here on the ranch. Today we are continuing our work with the glass panels. We are going in and filling all the spots that we couldn't do yesterday because we ran out of sealant. But we went into town and bought a big box, so we have plenty now. So we're gonna go through, tape up the spots where we didn't apply the sealant and apply it, and then go to the outside, do the outside, and voila, we should be done. Here we go. So we just finished the windows. Here they are. So beautiful. So now the sealant is drying. We have it all around the outside, all around the inside on each door. So right now we're just gonna let them set for a little while. Pretty much leave them like that until we move this container over there on the second level. Super exciting. We're really happy with how it came out. It's looking real sharp. And now we will just move on to the next step. Alright, so today we're going to do a little bit of an anatomy of a typical sliding glass door. I know a lot of you have mentioned that it seems a little bit sketchy that we just use sealant against metal backing for the container doors that we converted. So I wanted to take apart one of the extra sliding glass doors that we have on site. This one we're not using in the build, so it's one of our surplus doors. And yeah, so we're just going to go over how the glass panel goes into this door. So you have this sort of plastic clip that goes on the back, and as you can see, the glass panel is just stuck onto this side. This is a backing right here, so the glass panel is pressed in here onto some double-sided tape on the other side with just this clip on the back. So this clip is the only thing that's holding this glass panel in place. No sealant, nothing. Other than that, it's just double-sided tape on the other side. So that's a little bit of why we have the doors set up the way that we do, is because we saw that this is how they do them in the factory, and we didn't feel comfortable just using this plastic clip, which is why we used the structural adhesive. And yeah, that should be more than enough to keep the glass panels in place. We've had them on the house for about 2 years now and no issues with them, so they're in there, and we've had quite a few storms, so all is good.